Hey everyone, so I'm just hopping on real quick because I wanted to share with you um, using a different type of Yupo paper for this basically technique using alcohol inks. So I've pulled out these four alcohol inks, three and a mixative actually, and I'm using this heavy Yupo paper from Legion. It's actually, I want to say it's 8 by 9. You know what? Let me not even lie. It's 9 by 12 actually, and then I'm also going to be using as part of the technique this it's almost like it's a sprayer, and you use it with your different marker sets, and you can spray the ink from the marker on almost like you're doing airbrushing, but it's more manual. So I just put down some of the um, blending solution. I put down the alcohol ink on top of that, and I'm using the blower here basically to move the ink around. And I might have put just a tad bit too much of the mixative down because it wound up overpowering a lot of the different colors. And I realized when I put down the second kind of pinkish color, it's actually like a more like a fuchsia, I think a fuchsia pink, almost purpley color. I knew that this was going to be the perfect color for a project that I'm going to be working on for our weekend challenge. But I'm just adding layers of color and then moving around using the airbrush tool, the manual airbrush tool. And had I thought about it early enough, once I get this to a point where I'm happy with it, if I hadn't let it dry to the point of being completely done, I would have had a lot more areas for using the foil technique on it, which you'll see me do it on the this large paper here, I believe, towards the end. So this is the paper that I'm working on for a project, and I immediately just started putting the color straight to the Yupo paper. And you see I got some splatters because of the sprayer that I'm using, and I was okay with that because there's the sketch that I'm basing it off of has a lot of splatters and large ones, small ones. It's very much a mixed media kind of distressed look. So I knew what I had working here I was going to have to keep playing with because it was definitely being more of a solid, and I was like, I wanted more movement, more interest. So I knew I was going to have to keep playing, and that's what it is with alcohol inks. You put down color, use different methods of air to kind of blow stuff around, and then you add your mixative and hope you can, spread it around as well. But if you can't, that's when you add in the blending solution, and it helps move it around a little bit more. Okay, and then you add more color if you don't want it to be so light, because the blending solution is basically like almost removing that ink, like pushing it away from where you put it down. So sometimes you got to add a little bit more of the straight ink, or the straight alcohol ink, to give it a little bit more color, and so you can move it more. So we're just putting down and spraying, and this works out a lot better than using like a straw or trying to huff on it. I definitely like using the little tool better, even though my hands did get a little tired after a while. The only thing I would probably do a little bit different is I really liked using my heat tool when I was doing it before on my regular like cards and things that we were making. So I think next time if I do it on a larger scale, I may do the same thing. And then I just put a little bit of the ink on my glass block, and I'm just using it to splatter. And when I get ready to clean, now this brush right here that I'm using is obviously just for my alcohol inks, and I'll keep that with the alcohol ink so it doesn't get mixed in with other stuff. But the best part is once it's time to clean it, you just use your blending solution. I put it on the block and I just start cleaning it off with a paper towel, and it was pretty clean there when I just showed it to you, but I wind up having to clean it again because I can see a little hint of pink, and it wouldn't bother me if it stayed it or kept a little tint of pink because I was using it as a splatter for the alcohol inks. That doesn't bother me. But if you're one who doesn't like that, then you can use the alcohol, you can use the blending solution to clean it better. Okay, now on some of the spots, I'm taking some of this rose gold foil that I had. You can see I used it. I have used it on different videos, and I saved it because there were large areas of foil that was left. So instead of using that other one, the pattern, because it has a lot of pattern in it, I'm just going to keep using this particular one, the first one that I started using. And all I'm doing is trying to find the different areas where the alcohol ink has dried, but it might still be a little tacky, because that tackiness is how the foil is sticking to the project. And I'm just rubbing it down. I would say be careful, because I've done like using the bone folder to put down the foil, and sometimes it can leave like marks because of you pressing too hard. So I just say use your finger, rub it, and when you pull it up, you'll be pleasantly surprised. It really does give a nice look to the project. I like it. It's probably one of my favorite finishing off final touches. Now here I'm taking some blending solution on my paper towel, and I'm gently dabbing around where I initially put down the blending solution on the paper. It sort of created a line, and you couldn't see it looking straight down on it, but from the angle where I was sitting, you could see it, and I wanted to clear it up, so that's why I was dabbing with the paper towel. And then I wanted to show you, see, I waited too long on this piece here. There really weren't a lot of places where it was still kind of tacky, so I just, you know, grabbed areas that I could and got them with some of the foil. Now if I wanted to, if I was really worried about it, obviously to reactivate it, I could always put down more blending solution, a little bit more of the ink, and then wait for it to dry to that point and actually use the rose gold. I'm sorry this photo is just a little bit blurry, but I totally forgot to take pictures of it before I finished the project, and I wanted to share the technique with you guys first before showing you the final layout that I wind up doing with it. So thank you guys for joining me. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button, and of course links to scrapbookingwithme.com will be down below. And if you purchase, use my coupon code TT15 to get an additional 15% off on items that aren't already on sale. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a great day, and keep an eye out for that technique video to be put into the layout for the weekend challenge. Thanks again, you guys, and have a great one.